Once upon a time, there was an old forester. He worked in the forests and cut down trees, and that was his livelihood. He loved the forest. He did everything out there. He lived out there too. He had a cabin with his wife and his 3 or 4 children. Out in the woods, far from everybody else. And he loved that quaint solitude type of life. Hold on, let him cook. And so, one day, he woke up and everybody else was still asleep, and he decided he was gonna go out on the ocean, on the water, because their property was on the edge of the forest line, was the beach and the ocean. He decided he was gonna go take his boat and go grab some fish. And so, he grabbed his gear and he went out to the boat, but he realized he forgot his compass. So he went back to his dwelling and went up to his room to find his wife sitting on the bed. She didn't want him to go. She had woke up and she said, "Please come sit with me." And so he did, and he didn't go. And they spent the day together, and the kids woke up and they all had a nice day. I don't know, this is just a fantasy I tell myself. Another one is like, one day when me and my wife live so far out, and like I built a cabin for us, and it's just us two and nobody else for forever, and there's no reason to have a job because the cabin is self-sustainable, so we can just sit there with nothing to do, truly. One day, we'll look into each other's eyes for the whole day with nothing to do. We'll just look into each other's eyes the whole day. What do you think that would be cool? What do you think would happen? Who knows? Who knows? Not me. I'm just a dude. The coffee's ready. Calling me? Calling me on this, calling me? On this, play with me? Today we're playing Elden Wing, Elden Bing, Elden Ting, Elden Sing, Elden Green, Elden Cling, Elden Ring. It's beautiful, nigga. So anyways, this guy, he lives out in the freaking trees, dude. And he's supporting his family. They just live out there, homeschool the kids. You know, his wife teaches them stuff. He's got his foresting job. And one day he's out at work, and one of the dudes is like having a problem with him, a beef. And our boy gets angry because he didn't do shit. The guy's in the wrong for being angry at him. And so he's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of my fucking face, nigga. Before I body slam you into a fucking meat grinder, nigga. And into a fucking chainsaw. And it didn't go well. And when our boy got back home, he threw down his work shit, boom, on the floor. And his family was like, hey, Dad. He was just like, get the fuck out of my face right now. I just went through some shit, and I'm coming home to your cheery little faces. I need a fucking beer. He made his own alcohol. He just grabbed a fucking beer. Went to sleep. Didn't beat his wife. He's not that type of nigga. And so, the next day he went to work, and this guy was bullshitting again. But our boy, he thought about something. He thought about the love of God, and he thought about the fact that this boy was a child of God. This guy who was being shitty towards him for no reason. Maybe he just didn't like him. Maybe he didn't like the way he looked. Regardless of what it was, he was being shitty towards him, and he's a child of God. So when you see that, then you're able to see that this guy's going through things. He's struggling, and he's angry, and he's sad, and he's taking it out on others, and he's taking it out on me. And instead of getting angry back, why not let him do it? Why not let him get it out? I'm feeling like explosions and like the void. Okay, I'm feeling like explosions and like the void. Feels like glass shattering, like there's nothing to do. Or that can be done. There is nothing. I'm feeling that void. And so what I'm going to do is grow closer to Christ. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pray. Okay? Alright, just finished up praying. Went good. Now I feel less. Now I feel like I'm not stuck in the void. A little bit less. And so when this guy turned his other cheek and allowed this other man to let out his frustrations on him, that man realized that he was letting out his frustrations on him and stopped. And they were two godly men. And they worked hard together. And they were better as a team, having had this altercation. Nowadays, the moment something starts to feel like an altercation, people just fucking flip. They call the cops. I had an experience. I was at a Waffle House, and I asked these niggas for a coffee, and some kind of way I got into it with this lady, that was like the manager, but she was like an old crackhead looking meth head lady. Not that old, like, yeah, kind of old. And like, I called her a bitch. And I was like, you need to shut the fuck up. Like, what the fuck are you on about, bitch? Something like that. And she was like, get the fuck out of my store. I was like, bitch, this isn't your store. This store costs like $1 million. What the fuck do you own? Nothing. Yeah, I said that shit to that bitch. And she was like, And I guess the thing about it is, like, back in the day, you would have been like, shut the fuck up. And that bitch would have shut the fuck up, and you would have said, can I have a coffee? And they would have said no, and you say, all right. Nowadays, it's like, and that bitch called the cops. That bitch called the cops. Like, nigger. That bitch called the cops because I called her a bitch. Like, nigger. Back in my day, you would have got a bop on the chin. You would have sat down in your fucking place, woman. Can't bop nobody on the chin no more. We'll call it assault charge. This shit's bullshit, dude. Back in my day, the fuck you talking about, raising your voice in this Waffle House? People are eating. Yeah, I've gotten into it with dudes, too. One time, I was in Kansas, and this was during that homeless stint from the last video. I was going through it, and I got into it with this guy, and it was the middle of the night. We were standing outside of his bar, and just, I mean, I started it, to be honest. But I was talking about shit. He was talking his shit. And finally, I just said something, and he hit me. I'll say what I said. He said, boy. And I said, what's a boy? What's a boy? He said, I'll tell you what a boy is. I said, I'll tell you what a boy is. I said, a boy is somebody that'll snap your neck like a hair on the bottom of my ass. I said that to him, and he punched me. Boom. And I fucking ate that shit. I was like, well, at first I was disoriented because I didn't realize he was going to punch me. You don't get punched every day. And then I turned back around, and I was like, nigga, you fucking weak piece of shit. He punched me again. I turned around, I was like, dude, you got nothing, dude. You fucking weak. You fucking trash retard piece of shit. He punched me one more time. And then his buddy was like, dude, okay. And I was like, you weak ass nigga, you weak piece of shit. And I left. I never punched anybody. I haven't ever punched anybody, but I got punched. I got a knife drawn on me one time by some loser. I gotta say that because it's not as hard as it seems because he was a fucking loser. He wasn't gonna do shit with it, but I'll tell you that story. So I found a group doing Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I was looking for a hobby and to be around people. So I was like, okay, Saturday morning or whatever, they have it underneath the comic store. So I went down there. It was like some sweaty ass niggas, and I was like really just trying to boss up, like kind of mog. And because it was my first time going, and there was a shawty. And at one point, I kind of lost it because one of the dudes was talking shit about a guy that wasn't there. And for a lot of people, that's totally normal, and they just don't even think about it. It's just But for me, like, I saw through that shit. I was like, dude, you're a piece of shit. Like, this nigga's not here, and you're talking about his name with everybody here. It pissed me off bad, and I was like, yo, I started talking shit to this guy back. I was like, yo, you motherfucker. And then the only, like, guy who was, like, 30 who was there was like, hey, man. And I was like, what? Nigga, I wasn't talking to you. And he just wanted it to be his business, you know? He wanted to be the big guy. And finally, I said some shit. I was like, dude, I will put my fingers through your fucking eyeball sockets and take your brain and take it out your fucking skull. Right? And then I didn't notice that he had after I said that, he took out his knife. And I was like, dude, you're a fucking faggot. And I was like, yo, I'm actually finna call the cops. I'm finna get this bread right now. So I started trying to do that. Because this nigga actually just took out a knife on me. Like, what the fuck? And so I wasn't calling the cops because I felt like unsafe or nothing. I was trying to get a check. And, but eventually the cop was like, hey, I'm around the corner. And I was like, nah, dude, you know what? It's cool. I was just going to have you scare this guy's pants off. But honestly, it's fine. Because he pulled a knife on me and the cop understood. He was like, yeah, I got you, bro. So, yeah, I wanted the cop to be like, hound his ass. Because you can't take a knife out. Like, that's way across the line. You can get in arguments. You can talk shit all you want. You can even punch somebody. But taking out a knife, that's... And undrawing it. This nigga had it unsheathed and was standing there with his knife. That's way across the line. I wasn't scared of it. Because I knew I'd do more with my damn hands than this nigga would ever do with that fucking rainbow knife. It was a rainbow knife. You fucking faggot. You fucking... I probably had mine, too. You fucking faggot. Anyways. Yeah, that's how that story goes. So I was like, you fucking loser. Y'all talking shit about some nigga that's not here? You bunch of fucking losers. And then I just couldn't be a part of the group. I tried to be a part of a group of people. And you see what happened. Didn't work out. I almost fucking killed that nigga. I wanted to. I wanted to grab him by his stinking neck. On his fucking head against a table. Against the corner of a table. Okay, I calmed down. No, just kidding. But yeah, that shit was crazy. It was crazy. After that, I don't know. I want to think about it, actually. This guy's making a house. Interesting technique, bro. I gotta go get a charger for my PlayStation controller. You know, I used to have a fucking PC setup, nigga, with 3 monitors on that bitch. 3 monitors on that bitch. Yeah, I'm gonna go get the charger for my controller. Because now I'm a PS5 gamer. Young nigga. All that bitch need is hot chip and a charger. I love how, like, because I'm exactly like this. I love how bitches, like, all they really need is hot chips and a fucking charger. And, vape. That's me as fuck, bro. In fact, while that's charging, I'm gonna go grab my other vape. No, I'm not actually. I'm gonna leave that one. Went to church yesterday. The Lord, He's good. So darn good. Once you taste that, it's like crack. You can never untaste it. His presence. When you on your own develop such love for God, just a small amount of love for God, and then you enter a room where everybody is just pouring out their love for God, it is something else. After not having been there for a little bit, it is something else. Everybody loves G-O-D, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, the baby himself. Okay. I've been thinking about my brother. I miss him. But also, he's not a Christian boy right now. He is delved from the faith. He lives in ones and zeros and rocks and stones, building stone towers. He's lost that. He has that spiritual side, but he's lost the connection to Christ. And that is scary. I had lost it too, but I gained it back these past couple of years, and dude, it's scary. It's my brother. It's not, I know he's coming with me, but scary. Scary stuff, eternity rests in it. And supposedly what my dad said is all you can do is just bring it up. You can't make him come to God. So there's no right words that'll make brother come to God. It's just, I sound like my old man.